I've been excluded on Oprah, you know.
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
Oh, that's Oprah.
That's Oprah. Okay. Named after the Oprah, and your cat's name is?
And Gail.
Gail, okay, Gail.
And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Did you ever wish you were white? As a little girl, I wanted to be... Yeah, I did.
Even the king of pop was unable to elude the gay mob that controls the music business. You will be shocked by what 50 Cent has revealed about Oprah Winfrey's involvement with Diddy and the abuse she inflicted on children at her African school.
This is very important because throughout the years, black artists have been taken advantage of completely. And it's time now that we have to put a stop to this incredible injustice. It's been, the record companies really do conspire against their artists. They steal, they cheat, they do whatever they can, especially the black artists.
Yeah. Now let me say this.
Tommy Mottola. Tommy Mottola is the president of the record division. He is a mean, he's a racist, and he's very devilish.
We're listening to Mike right now. Obviously, you know, this is a really sad time right now, but we're celebrating his life. Your thoughts right now on the situation and the timing of this tragedy?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's just somebody that changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Somebody I'll always love.
7 months ago, we made sure, I already knew, that Diddy and Oprah is about to get arrested.
How about hashtag we all knew? How about hashtag tell the truth? How about hashtag accountability?
Despite being at the top of the music business, Michael Jackson never joined the gay mafia. Furthermore, there are now claims that Oprah was the cause of the sexual abuse accusations made against him. Oprah started a phony documentary with his accusers in an attempt to discredit Michael, even though they were found not guilty in court and had their case dismissed. She came out against him because she knew she would never be able to control him.
When you find out the person you love is a monster, like you sharing this information with me even about Michael Jackson, like, I don't want to believe you. I want to say it's the media. I want to say Oprah. Like, I want to say all of these things.
People were mad at Oprah.
I'm mad at Oprah.
You're mad at Oprah.
Yes, turning a blind eye because we had so much love for his talent and his ability.
Well, you said, you know, where's the Surviving Harvey Weinstein documentary?
Yeah.
And there are actually like 2 of those coming.
No, but in that statement, the reason why I made that, and it, like, people, like, you can read into it however you want to make.
For years, I didn't like Oprah Winfrey. She's not the type of person, tough, smart, and powerful, you'd want to have an issue with. But I felt the type of way about the things she said about hip-hop music in the past. It seemed like every time Oprah would go off about how hip-hop was misogynistic and ruining America's youth, she was talking about the same things on my album. What actually
said something, I made a comment about not understanding why they were choosing specific people for the Me Too stuff.
I was in shock. Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now? 100%. 100%? 100%. I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much.
It's $6 to $8 million. I said, Tyler, who you talking to? I'm a black woman. Where do they pay those type of salaries, brother? I said, what I cannot do, Tyler, is work for free. I've done what I was supposed to do. I cannot go overseas and do this for free, Tyler. So then he goes on about his spiel, you know. I said, well, listen, you can write me the check for me to go overseas. I don't care where the money comes from, but I'm not gonna do it for free. He says, well, I don't believe in giving money away for free. I said, I don't believe in working for free, so we on.
On national television, Oprah denigrated Michael and said he was attempting to appear white. Even though Oprah was aware of Michael's skin condition, she still chose to disparage him on television. Oprah took advantage of every opportunity to undermine Michael. She would pretend to be his friend and share jokes with him, but whenever she discussed him on television, she always had something negative to say.
Just recently there was a story, and I know one of your attorneys held a news conference. There was a story about you wanting to have a little white boy play you in a Pepsi commercial. That is so stupid. That's the most ridiculous, horrifying story I've ever heard. It's crazy.
I mean, why? Number one, it's my face as a child in the commercial. Me, when I was little. Why would I want a white child to play me? I'm a black American. I'm proud to be a black American. I am proud of my race. I am proud of who I am. I have a lot of pride in who I am and dignity. That's like you wanting an Oriental person to play you as a child. Does that make sense?
No.
So please, people, stop believing these horrifying
then
stories.
let's go to...
Okay, number one, this is the situation. I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. It's something that I cannot help. Okay, but when people make up stories that I don't want to be who I am, it hurts me.
So it is.
It's a problem for me, okay? I can't control it, okay? But what about all the millions of people? Let's reverse it.
Okay.
What about all the millions of people who sit out in the sun to become darker, to become other than what they are? Nobody says nothing about that.
So when did this start? When did the color of your skin start to change?
Oh boy, sometime after Thriller, around Off the Wall Thriller, sometime
And what did you
around
think? I mean,
It's in my family. My father said it's on his side. I can't control it. I don't understand. I mean, it makes me very sad.
But the fact that Oprah didn't get a Golden Globe nomination is shocking.
Hey, what do you think of Oprah for president?
I love that.
You do?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Were you skeptical as I am right now?
Yes.
Because this sounds
Yes.
crazy.
I know.
Remember that Oprah first publicly discussed the vile accusations made against Michael after they had all been shown to be untrue. Oprah wanted to damage Michael's reputation, even though she knew he was innocent. Why would you give someone who has been shown to be dishonest a platform?
But for me, this moment transcends Michael Jackson. It is much bigger than any one person.
Oprah Winfrey opened up about her decision to speak to Michael Jackson's accusers for her After Neverland special when she stopped by The Daily Show on Wednesday night. Last month, Winfrey made headlines when she sat down with Michael Jackson accusers for Oprah Winfrey Presents After Neverland, which aired on HBO following the explosive documentary about the singer titled Leaving Neverland.
If they ever found out what we were doing, he and I would go to jail.
Winfrey said of her decision to do the special, "I haven't had that much hateration since I did the puppy episode with Ellen DeGeneres, aka the episode in which DeGeneres came out as gay." The talk show host continued, "But when I saw that documentary, I realized that a lot of people are going to be triggered by watching it, and a lot of people will not understand what the pattern is." Winfrey explained, "People call it molestation, but there is a big seducing that goes on, and that was important enough for me to take the hateration for."
Did you ever find out who did it?
Yeah, I know who did it shortly after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are now where?
Oh, the guy who actually shot me is dead.
Listen to what Oprah has to say about Michael. Oprah is attempting to ruin the reputation of the biggest pop star because Michael refused to submit to her control despite the fact that she was best friends with some of the most prominent sexual abusers in Hollywood and the music business.
Well, she's been getting a lot of hate. Some of the tweet hate that Oprah's been getting, if karma is real, Oprah, after you are laid to rest, which is, I hope, many years from now, people will come out of the woodwork and lie on you, betray you, smear your name the way they're doing Michael Jackson, and the people that you let in your inner circle will lead the way. Oprah, you are disgusting, a cheap mercenary.
The reason the idea of Michael Jackson or any major person committing sexual abuse against children challenges so many people is because in every family you have to face that some things are not the way they appear to be. And what people need to accept in their own families is that people can do good things, they can be loving and helpful, and also be an abuser and a person who does bad things. Both can be true. And we are experiencing this paradox as a reckoning in our country every day in the news, where both things can be true.
Yeah, she's right about that. Both things can be true. You can have somebody who appears to be very nice in the front and be evil behind closed doors.
You know that.
And that's what she's saying.
It was like, it didn't make sense to me, babe. I'm like, so what did she do? She said something you didn't like? So she didn't work for 13 years after that?
Right.
And then I know Tyler wouldn't support that. He never told nobody not to work with her.
Tyler Perry?
Yeah. When I talked to him, he was like, nah, I never told no one not to work with her. And I said, but you Tyler Perry, and you never told anyone to
work with him. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I never looked at it like that. Because I said, you just got to consider how strong your influence is at that point. Because
Right.
I haven't seen a raise in my income since Proud Mary. And almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes, ma'am. Who said what? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because you know what? If I don't take a stand, how am I making it easy for Fantasia and Danielle and Hallie and Felicia? Then why am I doing this? If it's all just for me, why are you here?
It's no secret that Oprah has ties to Diddy, Jeffrey Epstein, and Harvey Weinstein. There are even photos of Oprah kissing Harvey, proving that she was best friends with all three. However, Oprah began acting as though she had never met Harvey after he was made public. This individual attempted to ruin someone's career.
3 days after Oprah publicly supported victims of sexual assault in the wake of numerous allegations against Harvey Weinstein, singer Seal Instagrammed this meme. Showing Winfrey kissing the disgraced mogul, it reads, "When you have been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you are the solution."
Please welcome Seal!
The 54-year-old who's appeared on Oprah's show captioned his post, "Oh, I forgot, that's right, you'd heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually serially assaulting young starry-eyed actresses, my bad." While Weinstein maintains his innocence, Seal hasn't commented further, and Oprah has not responded.
This moment is a really powerful time for everybody to get woke.
Fans have come to her defense, pointing out Winfrey is a sexual assault survivor. They also posted pics of Seal's ex, Heidi Klum, kissing Weinstein too.
Is Oprah's constant friendship with sexual abusers and her declaration that she opposes these crimes entirely a coincidence? Why did you initially become friends with these guys? Oprah was best friends with all of the major sexual predators in Hollywood, including Harvey, Diddy, and Epstein.
Book already, but you haven't kind of spoken yet publicly about what's going on.
I think that this is, I'm always trying to look for the rainbow in the cloud, whatever is the silver lining. And this is what I do know for sure. When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment. And what I do believe is actually happening is that, first of all, it's triggering a lot of unreleased pain, repressed anger, guilt, and suffering that a lot of women have had. I happened to be on set with several actresses the other day, and we were filming some things, and they hadn't slept over a period of 2 or 3 days, and I was like, "What is that?" I said, "Oh, you guys are suffering from PTSD."
And when you start talking about it out loud too, when
everybody has a story. Everybody
Yeah.
has a story, and so I think this is a watershed moment. I think this is a moment where no matter what business you work in, there have been women who not only had the disease to please, that's a part of it, but who felt that in order to keep my job, in order to keep my position, in order to keep moving forward, I've got to smile, I've got to look the other way, I got to pretend he didn't say that, I got to pretend he didn't touch me. I think those days are about to be over.
Are over. And if it happens to you back in the day, you would say, sometimes you're not even aware what he just said wasn't really inappropriate.
I know you've had a couple moments.
Where you just think, what did he just say?
Yes, I remember Gail had a moment when she came and said to me what somebody said to her was so inappropriate. I was like, oh my God, you can sue over that. But
no, and all I said was, what did you say? And then they repeated it.
Yes. It's terrible.
I just sat there typing with my 20-something-year-old.
You pretend you didn't hear it.
Yes.
You pretend it's okay. You pretend you didn't.
No, it isn't. You're right, Jeff. It absolutely. You're absolutely right.
But a lot of women have been silenced, and I know.
But I think it's going to change.
Being a victim of child sexual abuse, that when you feel like you cannot be heard, and then other people start speaking out, it makes you feel like, oh, now I can speak out too.
Yeah. So, and you've been speaking about it for
years.
Once upon a time, you didn't like Oprah. Right. You're looking at it and you're saying that everything that's wrong with our culture is why I'm a success.
Wow.
So when I actually got a chance to talk to her, she was like, I never thought about it like that.
Money is Oprah's slave. She is a member of the gay mafia, which traps artists with money. She knew she couldn't control Michael, which is the only reason she stood up to him. These predators use enormous sums of money to entice other celebrities. And if you agree, you become their property. Oprah and Diddy became billionaires in this way. Dave Chappelle recognized that Oprah's attempt to persuade him to accept $50 million a few years ago was a ruse. Oprah ridiculed Dave after he refused. Nobody understood why Dave was acting in this way at the time, but now everything is starting to make sense.
It was completely outside of my frame of reference. I've been in show business since I was 14, and I've heard the stories of what happens, and I've seen these kinds of things play out in front of me.
Okay.
When
you say you heard the stories, what do you mean? What stories?
I mean, you see it before. Look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal, and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Or Martin Lawrence punches through and he's waving a gun on the street screaming, "They're trying to kill me."
Yeah, we hear those stories.
And it always happens around the time of their career where it seems as though they're crossing over the next plateau.
Yeah. Would you say you lost your mind, sort of?
No.
No.
Not exactly.
Okay.
I wasn't crazy, but it's incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
And I felt like in a lot of instances, I was deliberately being put through stress.
Comedian Dave Chappelle left tens of millions of dollars on the table when he walked away from his popular Comedy Central show. A lot of people wondered what the hell was he thinking, and that's a quote. Chappelle says whether he was thinking. A lot of people ask that question. Chappelle says he had a crisis of conscience and stood up for his integrity as an artist. He explained to us how stepping out of the spotlight helped him avoid getting caught in a trap. It's so much bigger than money, though, Dave. It's so much bigger than money.
Oh, no, it was bigger than money. But you know what? I watched one of these nature shows one time, and they were talking about how a bushman finds water when it's scarce. And they do what's called a salt trap. I didn't know this. Apparently, baboons love salt.
Okay.
So they put a lump of salt in a hole, and they wait for the baboon. The baboon comes, sticks his hand in the hole, grabs the salt. Salt makes his hand bigger, and he's trapped. He can't get his hand out. Now, if he's smart, all he does is let go of the salt. Baboon doesn't want to let go of the salt. Then the bushman just comes, takes the baboon, throws him in the cage, and gives him all the salt he wants. And then the baboon gets thirsty. The bushman lets him out the cage. The first place the baboon runs to is water. The bushman follows him, and they both drink to their fill. And in that analogy, I felt like the baboon. But I was smart enough to let go of the salt.
Isn't that a great analogy?
What an analogy!
Guys? I know. He's very, very thoughtful and very, very smart.
If your goal is to describe what's publicly documented, I can help you write a careful, accurate version that makes clear what was actually reported and what remains unproven. For example, the news at the time said that staff members at the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls were investigated in 2007 for abuse, and Oprah publicly apologized and cooperated with authorities. There's no credible evidence she was personally involved in wrongdoing or that students disappeared. According to Gene Deal, these ringleaders were all spending time together and holding covert meetings.
Because you know he was running with Oprah and them. He was running with that whole crew. Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein. He was running with that whole crew. They want to know how we're going to do it, how the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. I don't believe the industry has canceled him yet. All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced what he has done. I haven't heard one of them. I have not heard one person denounce, well, man, let God handle it. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here with that. If that was your daughter, would you let God handle it? All those people, they ain't denounced him. They ain't definitely, they can't come forward and say, yo, I support him. Because it would mess up their brand. It would mess up their brand. Jay-Z. We the only one could call each other Sean. Jay is the only one could call me Sean. I'm the only one could call him Sean. Get the hell out of here. If that ain't no fun boy stuff. But you ain't had not one person, brother, not one person sit there denounce what he did, or come forward and say, I support him.
Even well-known celebrities like Will Smith and Tom Hanks have begun to publicly disassociate themselves from Diddy since his arrest. Why would Will Smith issue a statement claiming he had nothing to do with Diddy when he wasn't even mentioned in any of the lawsuits against him? Hollywood is rife with sexual abuse, and half of the industry would be imprisoned if all those involved in sex trafficking were put behind bars.
The idea that there are sexual predators in power, not just in Hollywood, I think all across any place there's a boss with underlings in any corporation or any industry, you have a type of sexual politics that goes on that can slide in between appropriate ethics and decorum to inappropriate behavior to the point of harassment and sexual predatory behavior.
Well, I mean, I think people understand that, but the larger question is there a culture of complicity in Hollywood where women are afraid to speak up because they'll be blacklisted, men are afraid to speak up because either they're out of the same fear or they just think, well, this is the way the system works.
I think there are people that say, hey, this is how it works, pure and simple, and this is why I got into it, and this is why I have power. This is how it works, and you have to understand that. That does not carry the day. Complicity is also complicity. The people who know, well, look, this is how we do business, and that's what it's got to be done. I'm sorry, it's like that. So beware. That's also present, without a doubt, but it does not carry the day. There's also people that were afraid to speak out, who were victims, that did not go forward, that signed, negotiated settlement deals of which a non-disclosure agreement was part and parcel to it. That also does not carry the day.
But the world we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to discern what's real and what's true, you know? And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. People be making memes. I see the memes. I say, no, some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all them memes. Stop all of that. I ain't been nowhere near no damn freak off. Listen, I do enough of my own. Don't be putting me in other people's. I ain't been nowhere near that, man. I ain't did none of that stupid. So, whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil. But I haven't said that publicly. I just said y'all the first time. I usually don't respond to dumb stuff because it's like people. It's so many things people say, so much stuff. But you know that one, your memes was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad.
According to 50 Cent, Diddy's actions were known to all of Hollywood's elites. 50 never attended these parties because he knew too. 50 recently stated that he was never cool with what was going on at Diddy's place in an interview with Lincoln Salazar on the Enthusiast podcast. 50 never feared being caught because of this. He was aware that he had never participated in any of these gatherings and that his adversaries could not use anything from his past against him.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know
He did it.
you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now, and then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy.
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. All of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
If you're not worried that if you throw little and you don't throw out allegations, but you kind of poke fun at them.
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way? Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up?
I don't got that in my past.
Everybody got a little bit. Not that it's real enough.
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. For her to remember, buddy. I didn't give her a drink so she forget what the happened. What the fuck is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the drugs. I gave me the fucking drug to perform. So she can remember and possibly love me for that.
Did it work?
What the fuck? This is, yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. Like, I'm pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. Well, I don't know why it's so hard for people
So
to just
for people to
acknowledge
feel
weird
like
shit is
you
weird.
would have something, or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too, this is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues, and what a celebrity's issues will do.
Wait, what does that mean?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip-hop culture could think that everybody in hip-hop culture is with that shit.
It's interesting to note that this abuse ring involved more than just Hollywood elites and record executives. Mike Jeff, the former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch, was arrested not long after Diddy. According to the grave accusations made against him, Mike was a member of a sex trafficking organization and exploited his position as CEO and authority to traffic men for his own erotic enjoyment. When these victims were unable or unwilling to participate, they would occasionally even receive an injection of a substance that causes erections.
The former boss of the fashion giant Abercrombie & Fitch and his British partner have been arrested on charges of running a prostitution and international sex trafficking business following a 2-year-long BBC investigation. The FBI began looking into the claims that Mike Jeffries and his partner Matthew Smith sexually exploited and abused men at events they hosted in their New York residences and hotels around the world. Lawyers for both men and a third man who's been arrested have previously denied any wrongdoing. They'll appear in court on Friday. Rihanna Croxford broke the story that led to the FBI's initial investigation. Here's her report.
Mike Jeffries, the mogul behind a global fashion brand. His vision made billions for Abercrombie & Fitch, drawing in teenagers with provocative ads like these. He stepped down in 2014 after running the company for 2 decades. He's now facing criminal charges.
Elon Musk has also spoken out about Diddy and everyone that was connected to him. The lies run deep, and the number of people that were involved with Diddy are shocking. Democrats, Republicans, and even members of the UK's royal family were allegedly involved with Diddy. J-Lo dated Diddy for years, right? And during the time that they dated, Diddy was involved in an alleged murder. Why did she never report him?
Oh, it's just amazing how many people on the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala, too.
Yeah, seriously. It's like insane.
Publicly, openly, all in.
Yes. It's like J-Lo was like his ex-girlfriend. and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion. Like if she's going to be warning people, why did she never warn anyone about Diddy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole thing is so strange to watch play out. It seems like the Diddy thing was like an Epstein-type compromise deal, where whether he was doing it himself. Conceivably, people want to think that he's attached to some intelligence agency or something like that. I think he's a gangster who made $1 billion and knew how to control people by compromising them. That's what I think. Whether or not he had help, I don't know. Whether or not he shared some of that information with people so they knew they had compromising stuff on people, I don't know. But clearly he was doing it for his own jollies too. There was something sick about it.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is that people in the music and entertainment industry had to know that Diddy was like abusing, kids, basically. And yet they still fed him kids. And like, where's the accountability?
There had to be rumors. There had to be. They
had to know.
Yeah.
They had to know.
Cat Williams is talking about it on.
Exactly.
Yeah, on that podcast.
But like who's feeding him the kids?
Right. Yeah. And what videos do they have of these people where they're willing to defend him? And they're willing to keep quiet about all this. Like how many people were compromised?
Yeah.
The whole thing is fucking crazy.
Elon Musk has also made statements regarding Diddy and all of his associates. The number of people involved with Diddy is astounding, and the lies are profound. Diddy was allegedly involved with Republicans, Democrats, and even members of the UK royal family. J-Lo spent years dating Diddy, correct? Additionally, Diddy was accused of misbehavior during their relationship. What kept her from reporting him?
When they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bruh. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You gotta realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he can get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons and he had a house and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not gonna say alleged because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self.
Surprisingly, Diddy wasn't always the evil person he is now. Diddy was allegedly abused as a young artist, and the abuse cycle is still going on today. Now that everything has come to light, Oprah's troubled past, Diddy's demise, and the revelation of Hollywood's most heinous secrets, it is evident who the true predators were all along. The walls are closing in on those who believed they were untouchable, as 50 Cent has been calling this out for years and more people are becoming aware of it. The truth cannot be concealed indefinitely, and the industry is collapsing. Who will be the next? I promise you that things will only get more bizarre from here, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next drop.